Welcome to the Make It
Now you can see there's zero rehearsal in this.
Zero.
Yeah, welcome back to the Make It Count podcast. And we're on YouTube with this one. And
You're so excited about YouTube. Talk to me a little bit about
because
that.
you know what? YouTube's big. I like YouTube.
It's huge.
I like YouTube.
All right. Well, I got to make sure I turn towards the YouTube camera clearly.
That way they can see your shirt.
They can see my shameless plug.
Yeah.
Speaking of shameless plugs, today's all about running for dreams.
That's right.
What is, no, let's back up. You got the cancer.
I got the cancer. Not again.
Not again.
I had the cancer.
You had the cancer.
Yeah, somebody just heard that and they're like,
oh my God,
Phil's got cancer again.
Well, maybe we got him hooked for what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, my phone will blow up with text messages. Oh my God, I was watching and you have cancer. No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. He's a survivor.
But I got the cancer. I had the cancer.
Right.
Twice.
And it's inspired you to do something huge.
I hope so.
All right, let's talk about it.
So, we talked a little bit about it in my story. I had a lot of guilt about being healthy and coming through stage 4 metastatic colon cancer, no treatment. 5 years later, I'm cancer free. And not just cancer free, but I've done these endurance events. I'm on this stage 4 to 140.6 journey along the way, because I'm not ready to do that Ironman yet, but I've done some sprint triathlons. I've done a marathon, a couple of half marathons. Now I've done a couple of ultra marathons, and I'm training for my third. And through all that, we talked about my guilt, and I cried. And
can we, not to bring it up, but I think if somebody hadn't heard that episode, and I think somebody out there might be just jumping in on here, let's talk about that guilt a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that's not shared a lot in the survivor story.
Yeah. So, it's like when I tell people I feel guilty about being healthy, they're, generally like, oh, you shouldn't feel bad. And I shouldn't, because I work really hard at being healthy. And why should you feel bad about being healthy? But there, I didn't do treatment, and that was a choice I made because the odds were pretty poor anyway that I was going to survive 5 years. So why do chemo again? I just said, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to do this my way. And it's a lifestyle change, which is very hard to do. Mm-hmm. But through all of that, there's a lot of guilt, because people reach out to me all the time and they ask how and why and what. And gosh, they're suffering, and here I am thriving.
But you were suffering once too.
Yep. Yeah. So I had all this guilt and I talk about, physical health and mental health and spiritual health. When I'm out running, I used to run with music all the time or a podcast. And now I don't. Now I'm just out running, and I'm, in my own head talking and whatever. And a lot of it's just, working out, whatever, thinking about stuff with work or the family. But I'm, what?
Time out for a minute. That sound.
Oh.
So we're going to pick up with you were working out from the family.
But yeah, so I'm not listening now to music or podcast. I'm just kind of in my own head, whatever's going on in my head. But I also do a lot of praying. I have a fuck cancer prayer list.
Wait, time out. You have a fuck cancer prayer list.
I spell that with a PH.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just do you say puck?
Nope. Fuck.
Okay. Just checking.
Fuck cancer. Because that's kind of got to be the attitude you had. And that's the attitude that when I was first diagnosed, I'm like, fuck it, and then spell it with a PH because,
you branded that shit.
I branded that shit. And, so, so that fuck cancer prayer list. And I would tell people that like, oh, you're on my fuck cancer prayer list. And they're like, some people are like, hell yeah. Other people are like, what? But, it gets long. And so, what's my purpose? Why am I healthy? Why am I out here? Why am I able to do these things? And when I was doing my first ultra, 50 miles, a New Orleans ultra marathon, shameless plug for Casey's run. But, I'm running and, I'm probably, I don't know, 45, 46 miles into it. Got 4 or 5 miles left to go. And I'm on the lonely streets of Gentilly by myself because I was dead last.
Yeah.
And, it kind of hit me like I'm going to start this foundation and I'm going to raise money for kids who have lost a parent to cancer.
All right, stop.
Yep.
You're going to say, it finally hit me that because the stupid fire engine.
All right.
Try again.
So I'm running the last few miles of the race and I'm on the lonely streets of Gentilly because I'm dead last.
By yourself.
By myself. And the sun's going down. My watch has died by now. I'm just like, this has got to end at some point. And it hit me like I'm going to start this foundation to raise money for kids who have lost a parent to cancer. So I lost my dad at 12, not from cancer, but I lost my dad at 12. And I think that that's a critical age. You're getting ready into your teenage years and that, it's things you want. For me, it was, I just wanted to go to a wrestling camp and I couldn't ask my mom who, she couldn't afford that, but there'll be all kinds of stuff, that kids want or need that they're not able to.
Even just having a conversation with your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. But I can't get that for kids, can't help.
Well, you
that,
can't, but like the missing of that is what I'm saying. I get where you're going with that. This is what you were doing for the foundation.
And so my boys, I've got 4 boys.
Right.
And they got lucky and they didn't have to deal with that. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And a few days after the race, I texted my boys and I asked them and they were all in. They were like, Dad, I think that's great. I just wanted to know, does it resonate with you? And then I started asking a few other people. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. And so we started kind of brainstorming ideas, names, and, what are we going to call it? And, so we came up with Running for Dreams. And that kind of probably for about 6 months, I was talking about it and kind of doing some work with it. And then the summer hits. I register the name because that kind of really started the things in motion. Mm-hmm. And then I reached out to some friends and no, not you, but not for.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Still butthurt about it, but let's keep moving.
It's okay. You probably aren't in the season of life.
Here we go.
To invest your time, more time in that. But anyway, I reached out to some people, some friends of mine to be on a board. And I selected them for different reasons. But so that kind of got it moving a little further. It's now more people who it resonated with. Mm-hmm. And then I go in July to see my oncologist. I have scans, my annual scans. And when I go in there, it's always, I go in there, I'm wearing my Fuck Cancer shirt. I call it my game day jersey. Though this time I didn't wear it. It didn't think about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. But I'm always walking in there, and kind of talking a lot of smack. I'm sweating. I'm nervous. Because you just don't know. And she's like, look, I would consider you cured. It's like, not in remission. I would consider you cured and a miracle. And I think you need to start telling people. And people need to know, like cancer patients, I've been doing this for decades. I've only seen a few who have beaten stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. Only a few. She goes, I think people need to know. Like they need hope, they need inspiration. And I said, well, funny you should say that.
Yeah.
So I told her about the podcast.
Okay.
Shameless
Make it
plug.
count.
That's right. Make it count with Phil and Jennifer. And I told her about my idea for the foundation. And I said, I'm just kind of working it. And she was like, this is perfect. Like, this is what you need to do. And she brings me out, introduces me to all of the nurses, and, they're going to help get families that are in need. And so now it's really rolling, and I've kind of got momentum.
Yeah.
And I get an anonymous donation, guess telling the right people, and those people telling the right people. And then I get introduced to someone who's into the web design. And I don't know if I can say who introduced me, but whatever. I was introduced.
It was me. Thank you.
It was Brett.
It was me.
It was Brett and Jennifer.
Brett's over there. It was not you, Jennifer.
But
Give me some credit.
and then I'm introduced to an attorney who's like, yeah, I'll do all the legal work for you, and then my logo guy. So that's what you're gonna.
That's what you want to preview that.
Yeah.
Like never before seen.
Never, but this is the debut.
All right, get it. Come on.
So this is just a rough draft, but it's the start.
But it's it, guys.
But it's it.
So you got a logo, you got a board of directors, you got attorney, you got all these people.
Websites
it's just kind of happening naturally, Phil, almost to the point. Oh, shit. That's it.
Can you zoom in on that?
Phil's Grill is back, baby.
Don't say that. Phil's Grill's not back. Just disclaimer. We're not cooking burgers. But you know who that is.
Yeah.
And so
he gained a couple of pounds there.
Okay, that's not fair. You don't have to say that.
Okay.
But I wanted to keep it completely separate. Like this isn't about Phil's Grill. And this isn't about Phil. This is a whole nother mission, and the board was like, no, like people resonate with you and your story, and people are going to recognize
that
you. Like, yeah. And we did a lot of philanthropy, and I spell that with a PH too.
Man,
I know, right?
I'm not cool. I need to get a name that's cool.
But we did a lot of philanthropy with Phil's Grill, and so that's what like these guys are like. No, like this was kind of what you were doing already. So it is an extension of Phil's Grill, kind of, you know.
But when you have a mission as strong as yours, it has to resonate somewhere with people.
Yeah.
And even though it's not about you, it's about you sharing your story that resonates so that way you can impact people.
Yeah.
So it's got kind of flipping that mindset, and it's hard.
Yeah. And so we're the official launch of Running for Dreams, which the website is runningfordreams.com. Please. Venmo is Running for Dreams.
That's not where you put this.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Just go to the website at runningfordreams.com if you want more information.
Yeah. And you will. So this is Running for Dreams is going to be, it's going to be kind of based around my endurance journey. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the endurance journey kind of coincides with the cancer journey. I don't know if it coincides. That's not the right adjective, but it's very similar. It's a mental game. You've got to be mentally fit for that cancer battle. You got to be physically fit. And you need a support system. And so it's just kind of, I have always hated running, and I get into it at 50 years old, and now I'm like running ultramarathon. So it's crazy.
You have a purpose.
Yeah. I got a mission now.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be based around that. There's going to be a point, I'm sure, where I'm not the one doing these endurance events, but like other people, like my son Jackson's like, I want to run the Boston Marathon and raise money for Running for Dreams. And so he's out trying to qualify for that. And I think it'll be things like that. So it's going to be around the endurance community, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm running the New Orleans Ultra Marathon again, October 1st. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be kind of the kickoff fundraiser for Running for Dreams.
So how do people, like you're running, how do people participate in this? How do people donate? How do people get on board with this for you? And what happens to that money after that?
So we are going to, through these oncology nurses, we're going to be able to find families, find kids in need. So 8 to 18 that, and the needs or the dreams will be different, I'm sure. But there'll be a vetting process where they have to go through the board. They'll present their story, their why and what, and then we'll have to determine, hey, we can do this. So it'll be like a grant-based, we'll give you the money to go towards that. Mm-hmm. Or it might be something that, we'll give you the money to take care of it all. So it's just, I think the demand's going to be much bigger because I haven't found anything else really like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cancer fundraising that goes on. But I haven't found anything like this.
And this is specifically for the kids.
Yeah.
Who lose their parents
to
cancer.
Yeah.
A parent. And if somebody's out there and they're like, man, this is awesome, I want to get on board, where do they donate?
To the website. We'll have Venmo. There'll be a link on the website, and the link will be able to, you can directly deposit into the bank account or
Awesome.
to the, through Venmo, which goes obviously to
And the Venmo name is
Running for Dreams.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we're going to, we're going to go out and kind of solicit businesses to sponsor it, sponsor miles, my goal for this first initial run, this event is to raise $15,000.
Okay.
So
I like that you said you're going to sponsor a mile. So like mile one is sponsored by.
Yeah. Like I don't want him to think like, oh, well, maybe he won't make it. So, if he does 32 miles or 38, like I'm going to do the 50 miles slowly, but I'm
Maybe.
like I got, like kind of when you're sponsoring something, you're asking somebody to sponsor, we'll sponsor based on how many miles you do.
Oh,
I'm doing 50.
yeah. Somebody said that to you?
No, but that's kind of what you do, like a walkathon or something like that. So it's like, I don't mean like that, but like, hey, yeah, Phil, we're going to.
But they don't just have to sponsor you when you're running for Dreams.
Correct.
They
No,
can
they
sponsor
can-
you at
they
any
can-
time. If
yeah.
somebody's listening to this, like the 75 hard guy, Andy, we're gonna make his. We're just gonna throw his name in every episode, and maybe one day he'll be like,
I gotta go.
Kids.
I gotta be on this guy's podcast. Yeah.
This girl and guy.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
god. Yeah, like anybody can donate to this.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
But I think, I do have that kind of fear of it being about me because of the logo is going to be Phil's Grill, right? But
Phil's Grill's not opening, everybody.
that's right. Phil's Grill is not reopening, but it's not. It's about kind of what I've been through, and I do have, especially with this podcast now, I've got that, I guess, that avenue again to get the word out on what we're doing and those sorts of things. So I hope to never be a cancer patient again, but I hope to be able to help, because unfortunately there's going to be a lot more cancer patients. That's just how it is. There's not a cure. So, and like an end in sight,
But just to give you a little bit of tough love, don't be scared that it's going to be about you. It's never all about you.
Right.
It's
right.
never. Like, it'll never be like that.
And I think, the journey in itself, and then especially with these endurance events, they're humbling, man. So,
Just like the cancer. I mean, it really mimics.
It does.
It mimics exactly.
That's a good adjective. Yeah, it mimics the cancer journey. So the stage 4 to 140.6, that's on the calendar for next June.
Yeah, you're going
in Coeur d'Alene, Ironman in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, because my oldest, Corey, and his family live there in Coeur d'Alene. So that's always been my dream. Like, I want to do the Coeur d'Alene Ironman. Forget about the altitude issues that I'm going to have to just like run up and down the levee to prepare for this, right?
They have those masks, that you can run
because
with.
we have zero elevation.
Right.
But, forget about that and forget about the travel for it or whatever. And I was like, I need to do it there because I want the whole family at the finish line.
Yeah.
They haven't told me it's important to them, but I just imagine it is.
Of course. Christina will never tell you it's important to her.
No, it's important to her. Yeah. So she had a dream recently, and the next morning, I guess I finished my run or something. And she's like, I had a dream you did your Ironman. I'm like, hell yeah, you did.
I'm talking about it enough.
Yeah. So June of 2023, the Coeur d'Alene, sometimes they do a half Ironman.
Okay.
But that one's going to be a full. So we're like, perfect.
Yeah.
So we're going, yeah.
So let's set the stage. This podcast drops on
September 1st.
September 1st.
2 days after my 54th birthday.
2 days after. So happy birthday to you, Phil.
Thank you. We celebrated a whole month for you. We launched a podcast on your birthday.
Exactly. That's what we do here.
We'll probably have a hurricane on mine.
And then Run for Dreams kicks off September 1st.
Yep.
officially. And then your first run that you're going to do
October 1st.
is October 1st. And the end goal is going to be.
It's not the end goal. It's just another step.
Another step.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I will probably
Can I take that back?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not an end goal.
Yeah. No, the stage 4 to 140.6 isn't the end goal.
Okay. Let's talk about that real quick because, and this could be like wrapping up the podcast a little bit, but you have your goal set so high and you've been talking about this for so long. You know how when you talk about like, even like in business, you get to that, where I'm going with this,
I know
right?
where you're going with it.
And then it's like, okay, what next? So I challenge you that even before you get to that Ironman, that we have something already planned out.
Oh, there'll be something else planned out.
Okay, not a podcast.
There'll be
Don't
things
drop me.
in between,
Okay.
like I'm always looking for the next race. I'm always looking
Okay.
for the next event. So the endurance journey is not like that now. Like now, that's like I'm running for dreams. Like that's based around my endurance journey. So I've got to do something. I've got to keep doing those things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's going to be a big step though for me personally, because when my cancer came back, it had spread to my lungs. I had surgery to remove half my left lung. I wasn't a strong swimmer before. Oh, now it's a whole nother game. So that's going to be a big accomplishment.
Jessica was telling me some stories about you swimming.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm scared to death. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you always do.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
All right, so Running for Dreams.
Running for Dreams.
The logo, love it. It's amazing. And
so my buddy I went to high school with, Mike Henry, when I was starting Phil's Grill, we needed a logo, right? So I tell him what I'm doing, and he lives in Washington, D.C., and he's like, comes back with the Phil's Grill logo, and everyone that saw it's like, that's awesome. And so, I reached out to him a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I know you're not doing this anymore. Now he's got a real job because, like me, right?
Right.
And he's like, let me think about it. And then he comes back with that, and he's like, I'm in, bro. So
love it.
Yeah.
So they can go to runningfordreams.com.
Runningfordreams.com.
They can Venmo at Running for Dreams.
Yep.
They can email if they have more questions.
I'm gonna be blogging too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
I do know what it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you vlogging or blogging?
Probably just blog.
Okay.
I've been doing Instagram reels though.
I know with your shirt off, but that's
Shirtless.
a whole other topic. All right, Phil, we're excited about this. Make It Count is behind you 110%. And maybe we can be at the finish line for that 2023 trip.
Yeah, there you go.
Brett's shaking his head over there.